Welcome to this video on sending personalized email messages to parents. So here I am in Gmail, and I want to send some personalized emails to my students' parents about the concert that's coming up. So if you look at this email message, this is a draft I already have written. I wrote down first concert details in the subject line. So first is the student's first name. Hello, both parents last. First concert will be on May 16th, 2024 at 7 p.m. He or she should arrive by 6:30 p.m. Thank you, Don Wynn. Each of the areas, each of the fields that needs to be personalized is put in double curly brackets. So the student's first name, it's in double curly brackets surrounding it. Both parents last, that's in double curly brackets surrounding it. And then same with he or she. Let's look at what we need to make this personalization happen. So you first need a spreadsheet that has all the student's information in it. So I have the student's first name, also the information about contact one, including the relationship, the Mr. or Mrs., whatever that parent is. And I know that seems like it's going to be a lot of work to have to customize this for each parent, but it really isn't. I will be showing you later on how you can just use a template that I already included in this workbook to create these last names that will be personalized by Mr. or Mrs. Then the same with the contact to, and then also the both parents last, and both parent emails, and then the gender of the students. This workbook can be found in the description is a link. So you can just click on the link, make a copy of it, and then you'll be able to do everything that I am showing you to do right now. The pronouns, I know these also seem to like they're going to be a lot of work, but I promise you they're not. It's very easy once I show you the template that I will be letting you use. But first, we're just going to begin with a general description of how to use Gmail Mail Merge. So if you go to where it says link, the link tab on the bottom, and you just click on the link that's right here, click on create a mail merge. These are the general instructions about creating a Gmail mail merge. It's really, and you really don't need to read all of it because I'm about to explain it to you. You're going to scroll down, click on make a copy. Click on make a copy again. And now it's going to show you a template for sending out these emails. These here on top are customizable column headers that are supposed to match the fields, the customized fields in your email. You're going to we're the only two column headers that need to stay the same are recipient and email sent. The other ones can change. I'm going to delete all these here just so we can just begin working with our own information. And I'm going to go back to here, and I'm going to go back to my complete roster. And I'm going to find all of the information that matches what I need in here. So first, both parents last, first, and he or she. So first, I want to find the column header that has the student's first name. So here, I have the first names here, so I'm going to copy this. And I'm going to paste it into this document at a column, and then I'm going to paste special values only. And there's the student's first names all pasted there. The next is both parents last. I'm going to scroll over until we get to both parents last. Both of the parents' last names are here. I'm going to copy this. I'm going to paste this right here. I'm going to click paste special, click paste values only. That way we don't get any of the formatting. And after that, I need a he or she pronoun. And these pronouns can be customized if a student doesn't go by one of the binary pronouns. So highlight that, copy, and then paste it here. Paste special, values only. And I'm also going to delete all these email addresses. So now we have all the information put in to be customized in this message. So for example, this first one's Domingo, and the parents are Mr. and Mrs. Allen. Are Mr. and Mrs. Allen, and then the pronoun is he. So it's going to say Domingo's concert details. Hello, Mr. and Mrs. Allen. Domingo's concert will be on May 16th, 2024, 7 p.m. he or she should arrive, or he will arrive by 6:30 p.m. because that's the pronoun that was listed here. These fields that are going to be customized, they need to match exactly what's in the header. So first needs to match exactly what it says over here. First, all caps needs to match. If you decide to change it here, you need to change it over here as well in the message. And then the same is going to happen with every other, with the rest of the students in here. So for example, Lynette, it's going to be hello, Lynette's concert details, and then hello, Mr. and Mrs. Barton. She should arrive by 6:30 p.m. Now, the only thing that's left is the parents' email addresses. For now, I'm going to use my own email address just to test it first to make sure it works. So I'm going to type in donwinnafme2@gmail.com. That's my email address. Drag it down. I'm going to click on Mail Merge, Send Emails, and it's going to ask for permission to run the script. This is really safe to do. It's not risky at all because this script comes straight from Google. So click OK. Click on your account, Advanced, go to Gmail Sheets, Mail Merge, Allow. And then you're going to click on Mail Merge again, click Send Emails, and then you need to type in the subject line of the script that you are using, or of the subject line of the draft that you are using for the you type in the subject line of the email that you are, of the draft that you are sending out that has been customized. So in this case, it's first concert details, and the first is in all caps, and it's surrounded by double curly brackets. And I'm going to type in first, and then concert details. Make sure everything matches exactly, and then you're going to click OK. The messages are going to begin to send to your inbox. And now they already have arrived. So I can see, for example, Danny's concert details. Hello, Mr. and Mrs. Ballard. Danny's concert will be on May 16th, 2024, 7 p.m. He should arrive by 6:30 p.m. And then let's find one with the pronouns that are, let's say, she. So for example, Sandy's concert details. Hello, Ms. Burgess. Sandy's concert will be on May 16th, 2024 at 7 p.m. She should arrive by 6:30 p.m. Thank you, Donwin. So now the emails, I see that it's working, and it's ready for me to start sending for in real life. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go back here where it says email sent. I'm going to delete everything that was put in there, because these times just state this just states when the message was sent. I'm going to delete all of it. And I'm also going to delete everything in the recipient column. I'm going to go back to the spreadsheet that I had originally, and where it says both parent emails, I'm just going to copy both of the parents' email addresses. This time I will not copy the header because I need to leave the recipient header alone. Right click, paste special, values only. Just take a quick look. I'd like to make sure, usually it's obvious if I accidentally skipped a row or something, or I pasted it one row down because the last names, you can usually tell by the email address whether or not it's the correct name or not. But everything looks right, like Burgess, and then Allen, Andrews. Everything looks like it makes sense. So now I'm going to send it as if it's the real email. Mail merge, send emails. Now all these email addresses are fake, so it's not going to make a difference. But I'm going to open up that draft again. First, concert details, right? So I'm just going to write that in here. First, concert details. Click OK, and it's going to send. When they've sent, it's going to populate everything in this column. And now the emails are Normally they would not bounce back to your inbox, but because all these email addresses are fake, I'm getting all these errors back saying that the email didn't send and that the address was not found. But normally the email would send out, and you can see that's sent to both of the email addresses that were listed, and it will say that everything is customized as it was before. Hello, Mr. and Mrs. Bird. Rufus's concert will be on May 16th, 2024 at 7 p.m. He should arrive by 6:30 p.m. And you can see the email addresses to which it was sent, which were fake email addresses. And normally these emails would show up straight in your outbox in your sent folder. So now you might notice that there's one discrepancy that might make it easy for a parent to figure out that you were using a mail merge or that was not written personally by you. And that one hint is the email address, the fact that it says the email address and not actually your name. So what you can do to make this work in this case is you can work with a little bit of the code. And I know that sounds scary, but it really isn't. So if you delete everything the email sent column and you go to extensions and app script, you'll see the whole code here. And you just need to scroll down to where it says name, and that's actually in line 100. You're going to, where it says name of the sender, you're going to change it to your name. So my name is Don Wynn. You could change it to band program if you want to. But for now, I'm just going to put in my name. And then the 2 slashes and the space afterwards, you just need to delete those. Delete the space, delete the 2 slashes. And now it's ready to send. You're going to click on run. It's going to execute this. And now this is ready for us to send. Go back to the Gmail mail merge, Gmail Sheets mail merge. Click on mail merge, click on send emails. And then you're going to type in the subject line of the draft that's going to be used for the mail merge. So first, concert details. The subject line, I'm going to go back here, type in first, concert details. Click OK. And then the email is going to send. And obviously, as before, they're going to bounce back to my inbox because these email addresses are not real. So if you go to your sent folder, you'll find these. And you'll see, for example, for this one here, it will now change it to my name. It no longer says just my email address. It will change to my name. You can change it to Imaginary School District's choir if you want to. It doesn't need to be your name. It could be something official like Upper Marion Area School District. So that's information on how to change the name. And there's also other things you can change. If you want to blind copy your principal in every single email that you send out, which I would not recommend, but you can do that. You can do that here, and then you can copy them as well. There's a lot of things that you can do with the code in here, but those are the basic. That's the most basic and most important thing to learn: how to change the name so it says your name and not just the email address. And that way, it looks completely as if you personally wrote that email for the parent, and makes them more likely to read your email, not to just ignore it. The one pro tip that I would really recommend is that you put the child's name in the subject line. If it says Sophia's concert details, Sam's concert details, they will really think that's an email meant just for them, and they will make it more likely for them to engage with your email message than if you just say concert details. That is probably going to make them think that it was just a mass email sent to all the parents. It's really good to put the child's name in the subject line so they really think from the beginning that it's meant for them, and they're more likely to read it. Some of them eventually figure it out, but I like to make it look as authentic as possible. Another thing, if you decide to bold or format any of this, so for example, if you want both parents' last to be bolded, there's really no reason to, but I'm just demonstrating this for example purposes. If you want to make that bold, then you also have to bold the double curly brackets as well. If you want to copy and paste this here, both parents last, into here, you can still paste it. But if you decide to paste it, after you paste it, you need to remove the formatting. So you highlight it, click remove formatting, and then don't forget to add the double curly brackets. I'm just going to remove the formatting one more time just to make sure that I didn't miss anything. And now it's ready for us to use again. Now, the one thing I have in here that you might be thinking, oh, that's a little bit too complicated for me to or too much work for me to put together, where it says Mr. and Mrs. Allen, Mr. and Mrs. Andrew, Mr. and Mrs. Ballard, Ms. Burgess, because if it's a single parent. You might be thinking that's a lot of work to do, but I'm going to show you right now how you can make one list that with this using a template that I have inside the personalization worksheet workbook that's included in the description. I'm going to show you how you can do this very quickly, create the information. So I have over here a blank roster. We're going to fill this in later on. I have the contact information template, and I also have a sample contact info from LMS. When I say LMS, I mean Learning Management System. So your school probably has, if your ensemble is a course, or if your class is a course, there is almost certainly a way for you to export all the contact information for your class with all the parents' email addresses, all the students' email addresses, the information about the student's homeroom, their team, their student ID. There probably is some way for you to do that in there. And the way it usually works is that everything is in all caps. You have the student's first name in a column, their last name in a column, and this is a sample of what you might get from like Schoology or Sapphire or Canvas or Skyward. The student ID, student email, their gender, homeroom, team, the contact's first name, contact one's first name, contact one's last name, contact one's relationship, contact one's email, contact two's first name, contact two's last name, contact two's relationship, and then the contact two's email. You might have their phone number in there. I just didn't include it in this example so that it just didn't make it so cluttered. What you're going to do is you're going to copy this information into the contact info template wherever it is blue. All the blue is what you're going to fill in yourself with the information from the contact info LMS. Anything in the white columns has a formula in it that automatically will change it and customize it. So here's what I mean. If you go to sample contact info from LMS, you copy all the students' first names. So I'm going to copy all of them. Go to contact info template, go to first, Command Shift V, or you can just go paste values only, and then it will automatically put all the students' last names lowercase with only the first letter capitalized. You can put the student's last name, although you kind of don't need to, but I prefer to do it because that way you have it for the entire school year. The student's last name, you can put that in. The gender, now the gender, you need that because it's going to inform the spreadsheet about how to customize the pronouns. So if you go to sample contact info from LMS, you have the gender here, copy all the genders. Make sure you get everything, you're not missing the kid on the top. Contact info template, paste that where it says gender, and you will see that the pronouns automatically change based on the pronouns that are listed in here. Then the student email, that doesn't really make a difference. There's no formula that depends on it, but just for sake of demonstration, I'm going to copy it and paste it into here. The student's middle name, that really doesn't matter either, unless if you care about that information. Then the contact one's first name. So I have contact one's first name here. Copy that. Contact one's last name, I'm going to copy it here. And you could copy both of them at once also, but I'm just, to demonstrate and take things slowly, I'm going to just do it one column at a time. Then the relationship. This is very important. because this is going to inform the spreadsheet about how to customize it for Mr. or Mrs. or Ms. So here, I'm going to copy all of this here. You can see that tells you whether it's the mother or the father. Copy this, put it in here. This also takes into account step parents. So if it's a stepmother or a stepfather, it will still take into account what it will still give you the correct pronoun. Now, the only situation where it would not do that is if it's a legal guardian. If it's legal guardian, then you just have to change to mother or father, and then it will change the suffix automatically based on that information. The formula, by the way, if you double click on it, is here. It looks a little bit complicated, so I'm not going to explain it right now, but if you like, you can look at it if you're interested in learning how the formula works. Next, the email address. You need to put the email address in here so that the email address for both parent emails shows up in here. So contact one email, go to sample contact info from LMS, copy all this information, paste it right here. Paste special, values only. You can also use Command Shift V on a Mac, or Control Shift V if you're on Windows. And then you'll see that that this parent's email is already showing up in here. We're going to do the same thing with contact 2. So you'll see that we have contact 2's first name here, copy the contact 2's information. Now, sometimes the student has a single parent. So this will also take into account single parents. It will customize this if it's only detecting that there's one parent. Same with contact 2's last name. And then the relationship. And then the email. And you can see that now it automatically, when it detects that there's two parents, it will say Mr. and Mrs. Allen, Mr. and Mrs. Andrews, Mr. and Mrs. Ballard, and then if the two parents have different last names, it will say Mr. Ward and Ms. Ward and Mr. Barber. If it's a single parent, Ms. Burgess, Ms. Davidson, Ms. Frank, Mr. Marsh, Mr. Phillips, it will show you automatically the correct. It will show you automatically when the parents' names are put together the correct way for it to be done. So now we can put this in your roster so you're ready to use this for a mail merge. So if you go to the blank roster, what's the first thing we need? We need the first names. Okay, so we're going to copy all the first names. So these are the first names, all lowercase. Copy it, put it under, and then under blank roster, we're going to paste this under the first name. I didn't bother with the last names. If you care about the last names, you can put those in, but I personally don't, so I didn't put in the last names. Last names are going to copy the last names. Copy, blank roster, paste special, values only, and we have all the last names showing up. Then the student ID and student email, you can copy the student ID straight from the original list. I'm just going to skip it for now because I don't think we really need to talk about it. But take the student emails, copy them, paste them here. Homeroom team, you can probably just get that straight from the original sheet, from the original LMS sheet. Go over to where it says contact one first, contact one last, contact one relationship, Mr. and Mrs., and then the contact one email. So if you go to example, the contact info list, you can just copy all that information straight from it. So you can copy all of this here, because we have the mother first, mother last. I'm sorry, it's contact one first, contact first last, the first parent's relationship, the email, and then the contact, and then Mr. and Mrs. So copy that and then put it here. Paste special, values only. It's the same amount of columns, so that's why it works. Make sure that everything lines up. So these are the first names, last names, the relationship, the so I messed it up because actually I forgot to take off I forgot that these were the email addresses here. I'm going to delete this here. So where it says Mr. and Mrs. Contact 1, we're actually going to delete that. So we're going to go to contact info template. We want to copy Mr. and Mrs. Contact 1. Copy this. And that's what we want to put here. Paste special. Values only. And then here we want to put the email. So I had just had it backwards, but you can just copy it and then put it over here in the blank roster. Paste special, values only. Then contact 2 first, you're going to do the same thing. So let's just do the first and last name together because they're right next to each other. Copy it. And then paste it. Paste special, values only. Relationship, that's also right here. So just copy this. Paste special, values only. Then Mr. and Mrs. Contact 2. So that's this column right here. Right click, click copy. Paste, values only. And then contact 2 email. We want to click on copy. And then we want to paste only the values. And there are the values. I'll paste it. Then next we want both the parents' first and last name combined. So I copy this here. Copy. Paste special, values. Both parent emails. Copy the parent emails. When they're put together. So this is both of the parents' emails put together. It's not just one of them, it's both of them put together. That way you can send one email that both of the parents receive rather than having to do rather than having to send 2 emails out. Then gender, you're going to copy the gender. And then paste it over here. Paste special, values only. And we have all the pronouns here. I kept the pronouns in the same order so I can just copy all 6 of them at once. So here are all 6 columns. We're just going to copy all 6 of these columns. Copy, paste, special, values only. And then the rest of the information, this is information that you would have to personalize yourself. So, or, I mean, the homeroom, the team, you can just copy that from the original spreadsheet that you downloaded from your school's learning management system. Sapphire, Skyward, Schoology, Schoology, or Canvas. The team, you can just copy that. I'm just going to do that right now. So homeroom and team, I'm just going to copy both of those. Paste it right here. So now I have the homeroom and team already there. The instrument, the part, and how long they've been playing. The student ID. I mean, these 3 things. This information here: instrument, part, and year. That's information that you would be filling in from your knowledge as the student's music teacher. But for student ID, that's something you can get straight from this spreadsheet right here. So copy it, blank roster, paste right here. And then the lesson time, lesson day, that's information that you would decide as a teacher if that's something that applies to you. And then the parts, the instrument, and the year, that how long the student has been playing or singing, that's something that is specific to your situation. I'm just putting this up here as an example of how you can customize your spreadsheet to do what you want it to do when you're looking at contact information for parents. And once you have this spreadsheet here for an ensemble or for a class, you can use the same spreadsheet for the entire school year. One last thing I'll say is that you can, I showed you before how to do this by copying and pasting one column at a time from here all the way over here. What you can also do is you can just copy this entire spreadsheet, copy the whole thing, paste it. So, and I'll paste it again just so you can see how I did that. Paste special values only. And then the two things you just have to change are the field above the email addresses. So this one is these are the email addresses we want to send it to because it has both the parents' email addresses combined. So I can say, and this one you have to change to recipient, or it's recipients with an S. And then you just need to add one more column, insert column to the right that says email sent. And then you can go up here to drafts, copy the subject line, go to mail merge, send emails, and as long as the headers are the same as what's in here, then you'll get the same results as we did before. Send emails, okay. It's going to flood my inbox with, oh, I forgot to, it says that I failed to send the email. Oh, there's no recipient. My mistake. It's not recipients, it's recipient. Just one T, no S. All right, let's do that again. So mail merge, send emails, and then let's see if it works this time. So now it should be flooding my inbox with 67 emails. If I go back, let's see what's happening. And now, yes, it's filling up my inbox with all these emails. Now, the reason why it's filling up my inbox, not these other people's inbox, is because these email addresses are fake. Normally, the email would just go and it would show up in your sent folder. But that is how you send personalized emails in Gmail, and how you can also make personalize it for the parents so that says Mr. and Mrs. I hope that this is useful for you. Remember that the workbook is found in the description, and I hope that your communication with parents ends up being successful from now on.